What's up, you little brown beans of glory? And by that I mean coffee beans. 'Cause that's what you are. A little coffee bean. Waiting to be ground up and drink with delight. Anyway, this is the hardcore Dark Souls 3 run. So I did a 35-minute run just a little bit ago, and my voice was super duper quiet, so you couldn't even really hear me, which isn't always a bad thing, but since I'm not going to use that, I'm gonna start over because I have to have proof that I did this run completely without deaths. Otherwise, everything is null. But anyway, so the topics for today were Dark Souls 3 DLC. Dark Souls 3 DLC. And virtual reality. You know, the hot new topic that everybody's talking about. You got the Oculus Rift, you got the HTC Vive. Sony's, and I think Microsoft is coming out with one as well. But we'll first talk about the Dark Souls DLC and my theories on what it could include. So we're supposed to get 2 packs. One in the fall of this year, and one in the spring of next year. I think 100% for sure the high probability of a Londor DLC containing the Sable Church, the Pilgrims, the 3 witches of Izalith that founded the Sable Church, which also includes Velka, the hottest topic of Dark Souls and the most elusive topic of Dark Souls. The reason why I think that it's almost 100% sure that that's going to be a topic, or a DLC I should say, is because it's mentioned too much throughout the whole game. With Yol, Yuria, all these characters talking about the Sable Church and Londor. Make Londor great again, or whole again, whatever one it is.
Make Londor whole.
And the fact that Yuria mentions Koth, one of the primordial serpents in Dark Souls 1.
Koth,
Dang it!
I have failed thee.
It's just mentioned way too much for it not to be included in one of the DLCs. But we'll see. The other one, the second DLC, well, I don't know which one it's going to be, but one of the DLCs is either going to pertain to I lost my train of thought here. Excuse me while I regain my thought process. Hold on. I cannot talk during this. This is the most dangerous room. You did it. Oh my god, boys. First try. Whoop whoop. So there's a couple possibilities of one of the DLCs. Why are you there? And one possibility is Karthus, the Sand Kingdom of Karthus, because it is mentioned a lot. Well, not mentioned a lot, but, you know, Walnir's associated with it. That big giant sandworm seems like a test of, hey, if we can get this working well enough, let's make something that will include a bunch of them. First try, boys. We are doing good. Oh, yeah. We are doing A-okay. Actually, let's go get the banner after we get Grey Rat out. Karthus or something that will include, the deep sea, which is alluded by item descriptions of Pontiff Sullivan and Aldrich. Aldrich had a vision of the deep sea swallowing the land, so I feel like that's going to be part of it. And if we do, it's not going to be an underwater level, obviously, but it's going to have something that probably has something to do with the abyss. And why we have these pus of man things all around the place. Please don't do that.
You can not open up. I do.
I had another theory. Oh, well, the Karthus thing can also pertain to, what you call it? The witches of, oh, no, sorry. Okay. Thinking is hard, words are hard. Just get a, you know, sip of coffee there. The other one was the Great Swamp. It's been alluded to in Dark Souls 1 and 3. And the reason why I think maybe it's the Great Swamp is because supposedly pyromancy was sort of originated from the Great Swamp. That's why a lot of pyromancers come from that. Cornix, whatever his name was in Dark Souls 1. And So that could help give us stuff on the Witches of Izalith. So yeah, that's kind of like the two DLC theories that I've got. So on to virtual reality. The new headsets, the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, are extremely interesting to me because of games like excuse me, that's unprofessional. Games like Elite Dangerous and a little game I've been playing called Subnautica, which is in early access right now, but it is fantastic. I bought it last Thursday, and I've already put a full day of playtime on it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I've already put over a day's worth of hours in that game. So that should give you an idea of how much content there is already. Come on, ow. It's a neat little game, but it has virtual reality options to it. And it's just, I want to try that out with virtual reality so bad because it's so cool. And to use an overused word, the immersion factor if you use virtual reality headset would be amazing. Okay, last time I made a mistake and dropped it in the wrong area, so let's do this right, shall we? Chasing me, I do believe. We're good. Okay, we're good. So being able to look around your world and stuff like that while still being able to control your character, like Elite Dangerous would be amazing. I've got a flight stick, and if I was able to look around at the same time that I was controlling my spacecraft, is just, that just seems amazing to me. And it would make you feel like you're really there. I mean, come on. That would be super duper cool. So, I've heard that if games don't run at 90 FPS, you can get motion sickness from them. Which I'm not sure how true that is exactly. Hey. Hey! Alright, dudes. That? Where's his hand? What? No, 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 no. Okay, for real, so No, 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 no. Crap. Where am I? By one of those. This is okay, I think. Yes! Yes! I did it. Well, this is going a lot better than I thought it would. Okay. So we got Gray Rat, so we need to go buy a sword from him. So if I stop talking during the bosses, it's just because when I concentrate, I can't talk at all about anything, or I will probably die.
Oh, and just
So we want a long sword.
goodbye.
Sir, I have 0 Titanite shards. Awesome. But we're gonna go ahead and switch this. That'll be good. What else do we want? Nothing really. Let's buy some homeward bones. And that's it.
Ashen.
Okay. Because we're gonna need some homeward bones for next part. I probably should have reinforced my Estus flasks. I should probably do that real quick. Because I'm gonna need as many Estus flasks as possible when I you know what? On that note, let's go get one real quick. So yeah, virtual reality seems cool. Motion sickness, that's what I was talking about. If your game doesn't run at 90 FPS, you can start to get motion sickness. Now, motion sickness is something I've never experienced, so I don't know if 60 FPS is going to be a problem for me, necessarily. But that's something I'll have to see if I'm affected by it or not when the time comes. So let's equip that. And let's go. I don't know if I'm going to be affected by motion sickness with the headsets or anything like that. I'm running a 780 Ti, and it's not the fastest card nowadays, but it's decent, you know. It gets me by. Let's do that. It gets me through what I need at the moment, so. But I don't know if it's going to be good enough for the headsets. Because you're supposed to run the game, you're basically running the game at 2560 by 1440, I do believe. So I'm curious as to the implications. Situation. Get out of the door. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. That was too close. But yeah, virtual reality headsets I am definitely interested in, but it's still going to be a little while before I can get one. Hopefully my tax return is a lot better than last year's, because last year I got jacked crap. And tax returns are what I use for upgrading my equipment. That's what I use to upgrade my stuff, my computer. And I only got like $200 last year, which is utter crap. I don't know why I went that way, actually. I didn't need to. I need to go the other way. So if I actually do get a decent return next year, then I'll probably go for it. Yes, because I don't want to deal with those guys. So yeah, that's virtual reality. It seems cool. I 100% am on board with that kind of thing. Excuse me. So basic mechanics. There was actually something I was about to explain. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Actually, yes it is. I have to. So one thing that veteran Souls people will know about is Dark Souls 1, and I switched it in Dark Souls 2, is your roll button and your sprint button were also your jump button. So if you are a Dark Souls veteran and you have the jump button bound to
No! You should have waited!
your B button, I highly suggest going to the Dark Souls 3 default, which is the left stick, to jump, because it actually helps a ton. Being able to sprint. Being able to sprint and roll. Oh god. Ooh, that was close. That's not what I wanted. There we go. So being able to roll while sprinting like this is extremely handy. dodge at the last second while sprinting. And like those enemies throwing the pots, being able to run fast and dodge at the last second is great. Oh. Actually, I want to talk to the giant because I would like his help and not have to dodge arrows while getting items later on. He's handy. So yeah, consider going to the Dark Souls 3 default controls because it's great. Another little tidbit that you might not know about is almost every single elevator that you get on, the way you run onto the elevator is the way you're supposed to be facing for the door. So if I do this, well, you would run on the elevator this way. So your exit point is exactly the way you're facing when getting on the elevator. Use those for assault, I suppose. If you're not a Dark Souls veteran, another little tidbit of advice: if you miss a crystal lizard and you really want to get him, go to where the crystal lizard is and quit and reload, and the crystal lizard will appear right where you left it. I don't know why I'm down here. Oh god! Oh, great, brigand axe. Something I can't use. So yeah, just quit and reload, you'll be there. Also, if you didn't know, like the sword master, if you kill him and he falls off the ledge, quit and reload, he'll be there. What else is there? If I think of something, I'll let you know. Probably a well-known fact by now is Uh-oh. Oh crap. Excuse me. Woo-wee, that was insanely close. Crap, that's a fading soul. That's not what I wanted. But this is a good time to stop. Could you go away so I could rest? Oh, here's a little tidbit. Backstabs in Dark Souls 3 are determined by the direction the enemy's head is facing. So if you feel like you're supposed to get a backstab, but don't, just line up with where the direction their head is facing and you'll get a backstab. Easy stuff, simple stuff. But anyway, I hope you all have a good one, and I hope you had a nice cup of joe while watching this ridiculous hardcore Dark Souls 3 video. Until next time, you all have a good one. Cheerio, chaps!